Hey, I'm Sterling Tadlock. I'm from North Carolina, and I was adopted after birth.
I'm Ryan Salvador. I'm from Maryland, and I am lactose intolerant.
I'm Carol Kushner. I'm from Woodside, California, and I have the BRCA2 mutation, which predisposes me to the possibility of breast or ovarian cancer.
I'm Kagura Cowboy. I'm from Kenya, and I have dark skin pigmentation, as well as being from an area that has a high frequency in sickle cell anemia.
I'm Ginny Foose, originally from Boston, but now from the Bay Area. I have achondroplasia, which is the most common form of dwarfism.
Great. Thank you so much for being here. Now, as we go throughout the course, we're going to talk a lot about, in depth, the biology of the traits that you guys are here to represent for us. We're going to teach gene regulation. We're going to teach inheritance patterns and dominance. We're going to teach about mutations and complex traits, as well as how to trace our lineage and family ancestry. And as we get on this journey to do this, it's probably a good idea for us to maybe better define the traits that we have. And that's not an easy process. Sometimes we have traits and we may think they fit neatly in certain categories, but then we start thinking about them in different ways and we think, oh, it's not so simple anymore. So for anyone who's interested, I want you to sort of take the trait that you're here to sort of talk to us about in this course. And I want you to try to tell me, first, if you think your trait is visible or hidden, and then physical or behavioral, and then innate or learned. And let's start with Ginny over here. What do you think about that? Do you think you're, what's a kind
I think my trait is visual. Visible.
Visible, huh?
Visible, yes. I think that my, it's a physical issue, and at times an emotional issue. And I think it has shaped who I am in a good way.
Absolutely. Kaguri, what do you think? Tell us about, let's focus on skin pigmentation. Would you classify that as a visible or a hidden trait?
Visible.
Visible in general?
Yes, a visible trait. What was the?
Physical or behavioral?
Physical.
And innate or learned?
It's innate.
Innate,
yeah.
Right. So
I
pretty,
didn't learn it.
that's more of a, I guess, more of a straightforward, kind of like chondroplasia and dwarfism. You know, they sort of fit into more easily defined categories. Carol, tell us a little bit about a BRCA2 mutation.
Well, BRCA2 mutation is invisible. And I didn't know I had BRCA2 mutation, and it's invisible.
Mm-hmm.
And I did take steps once I found out to, I took steps to address the issue.
Mm-hmm. Are there any, would you describe, obviously this seems to be an innate trait, right? It's not anything you could change.
Right.
And it's most likely a physical trait, and it manifests physically, not behaviorally.
Right.
In any real way.
It could manifest.
It could.
Right
exactly.
now it doesn't.
Right, so it's sort of a little unclear, like whether or not it will have an effect or it won't.
Right.
All right, Ryan, what about lactose intolerance?
So in terms of visibility, that's a little trickier because it's not, you can't tell by looking at me that I'm lactose intolerant. But if you watch me, you can tell kind of by my choices that I make while I'm eating. If I'm at a restaurant with friends, then you might be able to see, why aren't you eating that pizza? Or why are you taking a pill while you eat your food? So in that sense, it's visible and hidden, but it's definitely...
What about physical or behavioral? Is sort of the...
Yeah, that's the same thing. So it's definitely, the trait itself is physical, but it can manifest, it changes your behavior.
Very interesting. And this is something learned or innate?
It's definitely innate, but you learn that you have it.
Exactly. And Sterling, what about adoption? That's sort of a tricky kind of trait.
Wow, it's hard to define that as a trait because I have a whole host of traits that are all physical, hidden, innate, learned. They fall into both categories from all the traits that I have. I just don't know, my biological relatives, if they also had those traits and how their genetics contributed to the traits that I'm now expressing.